I'm saying? Most controversial mother effer on YouTube, man. How y'all doing? Make sure you hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, and sub, man. Your boy. You know what it is. We gonna get into it. I give y'all a little bit of time, you feel me, to get up in here. I give y'all a little bit of time to get up in here. Hope y'all having a blessed day, blessed week. You know what I'm saying? We halfway there. We almost there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? A couple more days. Just hold tight. You know what I'm saying? Hit them thumbs up. You come in the building. We're going to dive into this Draymond Green thing. He been real talkative lately. Draymond Green been running his mouth a lot lately. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he's starting to turn on his best friend LeBron James, but he was already angry at him for salute. He was already angry at him for the JJ Redick podcast situation. He felt like he went on JJ Redick podcast and he didn't come on his. And then now this, as far as him on the big podcast, on Shaquille O'Neal's podcast. My guy, what's up with it? Neek the Sneak, man. What's happening with my guy, man? Neek the Sneak. Tell nephew, man, and them I said, what's up, bro? And I'm going to hit you, nigga. You forgot to hit me back, though, bro. So, it's all good. On the big podcast, that's Shaquille O'Neal's podcast, he had Draymond Green on the show as a guest. And I seen where Draymond Green, they were talking about the Jamal Murray incident. He threw the massage gun, or he threw the towel or the little cushion on the floor, the little seat cushion, I think. He threw that and a towel on the floor in disgust because I guess he was frustrated either at the referees or just the way the game was going, or maybe his performance. So he threw that on the floor, right? Hit them thumbs up, y'all. He threw that on the floor. And they compared that situation. They said, Shaq said, if that was Draymond Green, and Draymond Green instantly responded and said, I would have been suspended the series. And he was dead ass. So, and then Draymond Green went on to elaborate and said, or I think Shaq said, yeah, did you, what's the name? He said, yeah, I tried to hit LeBron. So Draymond Green openly admitted that he tried to hit LeBron because he was like, you don't step over nobody. You know what I'm saying? He tried to step over my head and my shoulder. He said, it's a whole lot of court around him. He could have walked around, but he tried to blatantly step over me, and as a man, that's disrespectful. He said, hell yeah, I tried to hit LeBron. That was him verbatim. Those are his quotes. You know what I'm saying? He said that. So he's just letting LeBron know, yeah, I'm pretty sure that he let LeBron know, you know what I'm saying, formally that, yeah, I tried to hit you, nigga. You tried to step over me. That's disrespectful. And they probably laughed and joked about it. But at the end of the day, that's becoming public. So now that's going to be something that a lot of different people and YouTubers and podcasters or whatever can take that soundbite and run with that interview, and you can dissect that and create different narratives off of that. But basically, he went on after that to say that you have to let the players decide the games. If you want the players to be the ones to decide these games, he said that was ultimately, that cost us an NBA Finals. He said that cost us an NBA Finals. So he's saying if he doesn't get suspended, that the Warriors going to win that 2016 NBA Finals, and I totally agree with him on that. that thing could have played out a lot differently, and LeBron's legacy and his career in comparison to where he ranks on the all-time, you know what I'm saying, all-time greatest list, now that's in question. Now we might have to lower him on the list. I already got him low on the list, but that's just one of the things that you can point to and be like, damn, it's always something. When it came to LeBron winning championships, it was always something that happened. Like the weirdest stuff that you can ever see. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, damn, I get it. But I've seen that in real time. So now different things and sound bites and different players' testimonies after the fact, certain things are starting to come out to expose the NBA for what we know it is. It's a spectacle. It's entertainment. These things that happen, this stuff be straight up played out, bro, and scripted. It is. Not everything, but most of the stuff. It's just weird to me. Like, the players aren't allowed to dictate games. Just like in that Dallas and that OKC series. Why not let them go to overtime? You see what I'm saying? Why not let them go to overtime? I didn't understand why the referees in the NBA allowed a game 7 to be decided by a last second call. That makes no sense, because guess what? There are a lot more games that happen in the regular season, the preseason, the in-season tournament, and the playoffs that you can call foul literally all the time at the end of a shot. At the end of the buzzer. Last quarter, last second of the first quarter, last second of the first half, last second of the third quarter, and so be it. The last second of a shot clock. If that's the case, you can always look to make that call on anything that might appears to be a foul or there is minimal contact. You can always blow that whistle because it's a judgment call. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they reviewed it and seen that he made contact with the ball first and then he might have slid across the arm. Anything after that, it shouldn't go because I hit ball first to dislodge the ball and disrupt the shot. So if I hit your hand after that, anything after that is a minimal contact according to the rule. But that was the quickest review of all reviews that we ever seen in NBA history in a game, in a situation of that magnitude. So just let alone, just by them not even faking the phone and looking at it for an hour, even though they do that with other calls, which some of these calls, people are like, man, why are they taking so long on this call? It's an obvious call. Make the call. But for this situation, they went up, yeah, he got him. They didn't even try to disguise that it wasn't staged. Now, if they wanted to disguise it, they would have went and said, okay, damn, which way are we going? We're going to deliberate on this for a long time. And we getting everything out of Secaucus back at the NBA Center back in Brooklyn, I think it is, or New York or whatever. And they're sending them, you know what I'm saying, what they should do. Like, you know what I'm saying? The camera and the footage and everything is coming from those centers over there. So tape and replays can be manipulated. They don't even send them all of the angles. Y'all know that, right? Sometimes the referees and what we see, the referees might not see all of the angles. Think about that. So they get to manipulate the cameras and stuff that's controlled somewhere else outside of the arena. That doesn't make any sense, bro, to me. Can I get the live angle and camera view that's happening right now? You see what I'm saying? It's so weird. And Draymond Green basically alluded to, man, these NBA and the referees decide and dictate these outcomes of these games. When they should call foul, they don't. When it's never a foul and it's nowhere close to being a foul, they call foul. And then the referees want to pull their whistle out and look up at the clock. If y'all notice the referees, when they make a call, They're always looking up at the clock so they know exactly when, what time, in what situation they're going to make a bogus call. It's calculated. See, people don't even understand that. All of this stuff is calculated when it comes to NBA officiating. And that's all ran in the league's front office. These referees get the call wrong, and they got instant replay. They still get the call wrong. And then guess what? After the game, they admit to getting the call wrong. That doesn't make sense. If you have an instant replay in the game, me as a coach, what are we doing? I shouldn't have to challenge something that you should just be able to go and course correct. Why do I have to waste my timeouts for game management purposes, which I need my timeouts later on in the game to manage the game and game situations? Why should I have to request to have a call looked at when it's your error? It's your error. So the simple fact that you made the error, you should be able to go just like you go, you know what I'm saying? Change, just like you go and change a 2 from a 3 and a 3 from a 2, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the intermission break or at the end of the second quarter or when you go to your first TV timeout, you go and hurry up and change the call, right? You should be able to do that with all the calls you made, whether it's a travel, a double dribble, to get it right. And I know nobody is perfect, but that's what you got replay for, to help you get it right. I should have to request, and if you're going to do these challenges, I should be able to challenge at least 5 calls per half. I'm challenging it because we know that the referees intentionally mess these games up and dictate and control outcomes of games. Yesterday, what happened in the Boston game and the Pacers? I rewatched the game. There were some fouls that were bogus for both teams, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? There were some fouls that was bogus for both teams. But then we're going to go to the box score and say, okay, the only reason that Boston won the game is because look at the free throw disparity. And what did the media do? They asked Rick Carlisle, are you going to go to the league office? And Rick Carlisle's response was, man, I need my daughter to go to college. They asked Rick Carlisle about the officiating. He said, you ain't going to get me this time. I need my daughter tuition paid for. That's $10,000. You ain't going to take $10,000 away from my daughter's tuition when the man is making millions. But I mean, it was a sarcastic remark. But I'm just saying, even the media is asking them about the officiating because they see the same thing that we see. In order to get a story, they have to ask and report those questions to get one of the coaches or one of the players to come out and publicly criticize the officiating. It's all for marketing purposes, and it's all for the money. If you can get a motherfucker to speak on certain things, it'll make it more appealing and juicy to the masses and the people like me and you that really want to go back and replay what he said. So more views equals more what? Exactly. But people don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that the refs cheated for Boston last night. But we are talking about Boston. The league leader in NBA banners that's hung up, right, is the Boston Celtics. And we are talking about Massachusetts, right? like let's can we just be honest with this? You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. It's Boston, bro. It's Boston. There's been plenty of times where the NBA cheated for the Indiana Pacers. Every team has been cheated for, bro. When it's a lot of money on the line, you'll see. And then guess what? Boston controlled the whole game yesterday up until the later part of that fourth quarter, at the end of the third quarter, and then the later part of the fourth quarter. Boston was in control of most of the game. Easy. And then all of a sudden they forgot how to play basketball. They start turning the basketball over. They controlled the offense and the defensive glass. And then all of a sudden they just start throwing the ball away. They start missing layups. It was weird. I'm like, oh, I see what Boston trying to do. The best team, they've been the best team at home all season. The best team. They only lost, you can count on one hand how many games they lost at home in the regular season. Kind of look like the Warriors from, a couple years ago where they won all their home games and lost every game on the road. Don't make no sense. It's no way that a championship caliber team can be that bad home versus away. That doesn't make sense. A championship team being that bad home versus away, the differential in win percentage, can somebody make that make sense to me? I don't get it. So yes, these teams, these players, they can play bad on purpose to dictate and control the money that's being wagered all across the world on them. When you see a player that only got to get 15 and a half points, but they average 19 points, and then they put up a trend. Oh, in their last 5 games, they've been averaging 30 points a game in the last 5 games. But for this particular night, they put the average point that he needs to get for tonight is 16. But he's been averaging 30 in his last 5. What you think everybody gonna do? They gonna bet on that player to get 16 and they sleep. What does this player do? They end up with 15 and they're playing a garbage team. That right there makes absolutely no effing sense. It's all for the bread, bro. The integrity of the game has been compromised to a level and to a place that's not even morally or ethically correct. Think about this. I want y'all to think about this, bro. So when you get players and coaches and different personnel coming out and they're exposing everything. But you know what? Nobody cares because they be like, you know what? I'm still a fan and this and that, and you're going to make money, and this game was entertaining. They know how to make it look entertaining. Don't wrestling know how to entertain you? High-flying action, flying elbows, bloodshed. They bring all the props out. You know what I'm saying? But if you publicly criticize anything, see, I have to understand how the media works. The media works to help the NBA get more money by asking them certain questions, which will expose the NBA, but the NBA doesn't care because guess what the NBA will do? Based on how you answer the question, they're going to fine you money. Just like Rudy Gobert went like this. Why do you think Rudy Gobert did the money sign twice? And they just gave that nigga another fraud NBA Defensive Player of the Year award. Why do you think Rudy Gobert did this? Why do you think Ayesha Curry, you know what I'm saying, after the 2016 finals, after that game where, I think it was game 6 or game 5, where it was game 5, I think, or game 6, where Steph Curry got ejected for throwing his mouthpiece and hit some of the fans in the front row. Why do you think she came out and publicly say, this, I'm convinced it's rigged for the money? So you mean to tell me everybody is in their feelings? Everybody is delusional? Everybody is tripping? If everybody's saying the same thing, then why don't you believe it? You feel me? We got 2 eyes, right? Can't we see that? So maybe if we all start calling some of these things out, all of the people, you know what I'm saying, who got high profile and, you know what I'm saying, channels, maybe we can start to see a shift and we can respect the game that we grew up loving to play and loving to watch. You see what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people that's scared to talk about stuff like this and highlight, you know what I'm saying, the unethically and unmoral compass of what we call sports entertainment. So I just don't understand why we can sit up here and cap and look at some as if we don't see what's really going on, and we don't highlight these things. Make it make sense. And I'm going to get to y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all, what's her name in a minute. Salute to everybody. I hope everybody having a blessed day. If you're new to the channel, please like first, subscribe at your own leisure, and share the content if you feel like doing that. You know what I'm saying? But Draymond Green, since he has his podcast, he's transitioning to life after basketball. And that's why the Warriors aren't as successful as they were in years past, is because I don't think that the players are really invested in trying to win. All of the antics that we see from Draymond Green, he talks all of that about getting suspended and all this and that, and if he doesn't get suspended, they win and all that. But at the end of the day, you're still doing some of those same antics that leads you to get suspended, which prevents your team from building chemistry, which you can take the same chemistry and you can win games in the hopes of winning another championship and build team morale. You see what I'm saying? And cohesion and camaraderie. So people need to understand that if Draymond knows all these things, why is he still doing these things and committing these acts? Why are you still committing these cruel acts when you know the league is labeling you and you're being targeted? You know this. You know you're going to be suspended, which you're going to take food out of your children's mouths, even though, I mean, it's not going to be a lot because you make so much damn money. So if he knows all of this, why do you keep committing those same acts? Because they're paid. It's all a gimmick, bro. A lot of these players are a gimmick. It's just like when in wrestling, when you got the good guy and then all of a sudden they turn bad. And you be like, why are you doing that? Oh, we're changing the storyline of this particular wrestler. His character, his image. He's been a good guy forever. Now he does something, turns on one of his allies, and then what do you have? Now he's painted by all the fans to be the bad person. But he's not necessarily a bad person, because when they're at all of the, you know, the signings and all of the sponsored events and the charity events, smiling, they're doing all these different things. You see what I'm saying? They're doing all these different things. Y'all already know how this go. Salute, y'all. When I see all y'all. Hold on real quick. Man, damn. I'm gonna have to let me go ahead on and mute this real. I'm about to come back on. I need to make this phone call real quick, y'all. Hold on. Appreciate y'all though. Salute to my people. You know what I'm saying? Type of behaviors. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand. Like, if we know something is wrong, why do we go along with it? Like, because it's conducive to our pockets and our bank accounts? Like, really? Come on, man. That just means that you'll fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Have you guys heard that saying? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Let's just be honest and truthful with it. The players are telling you what it is. If the players are sitting there telling you what it is, why not believe them? Why not believe him, you guys? That's all I want to know. Neek the Sneak. Neek the Sneak, man. That's my guy, man. So make sure y'all pay attention to the games, man. You know what I'm saying? Dissect it. Listen to the players. These players, Paul George, do you think that he can help your team win the championship? Is he invested? He's having the time of his life right now. The real two Smees. What's good with y'all, man? Hey, Paul George is having the time of his life. Paul George don't give a fuck about basketball. Y'all think Paul George cares about basketball like that, you guys? Be honest. If Paul George cared about basketball the way that he might say he do, or lack thereof, or not, then it will show, because we know he's one of the most talented players, salute in here, to ever come across the NBA. A lot of new players today said Paul George is my GOAT. That's how talented Paul George is. To say Paul George is the GOAT at something in basketball is saying a lot. That's how skilled and talented Paul George is. But he doesn't have the drive to be the GOAT or to be the best. And it shows. When it's time for Paul George, when it's time for Paul George, you know what I'm saying, to be a GOAT type player, what happens? They're not really invested like that. But they're going to get you a max contract. See, a lot of these teams, it's all about promotion. It's all about the money. Oh, we can be a top 5 team. That means it's more TV deals. We get more motherfucking endorsement deals. You know what I'm saying? The owners get richer because now your franchise is being marketed even more on a global standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And demand standpoint. Let's think about that. So in the state and abroad, your team is being looked at and marketed. So people are going to tune in and want to watch your team play. More ticket sales, more concessions. You know what that means? More ticket sales, that's more fans in the seat. That's more concessions, more merch. Do y'all understand how the business works, how this works? If you don't think that these referees, bro, are paid by some of these owners to show a little bit more favoritism and give their teams a little bit more calls, when it comes down to it, then you're mistaken. Because we already know that these officials, they're trying to get to the NBA Finals on the grandest stage of them all, where the checks are a lot more juicier when you are officiating an NBA Finals game as opposed to a regular season game or a playoff game. Think about that. So these officials are going to do the best they can to make the league look good. In a sense of, oh, it's entertainment. Oh, this team is going to, this player is going to win. Because it's all about who the NBA is marketing at that time. It's all about who the NBA is marketing at that time. They chose the Joker. They chose Giannis. They chose Joel Embiid. They chose all these other players. Now they choosing Luka. It's all about who the NBA chooses. They chose LeBron James. They chose Jordan. They chose Magic and Bird. They chose the Detroit Pistons, the bad boy era. They even got a documentary on them. They were chosen. Then they chose the motherfucking San Antonio Spurs. Then they chose the Warriors. Now it's a free-for-all. We haven't had a repeat champion since when? 2016, 2017, 2017, 2018 season? We have not had a repeat champion in 7 years. Think about it. So there's no one team that's dominating the league or an era right now. It's not one. That is just one player that's just winning championship. That's how you know that all of the championships are being manipulated. There's really no good players, and Ant-Man should be the next man up, but we'll see what happens with him in his career. If Ant-Man doesn't sell out to what they see for Ant-Man when it comes to certain things and his political views, you know what I'm saying, and all of that, because the players that model their game and their mindset after one Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Kobe Bean Bryant, those players don't win. They just don't. Look at all the players. They don't like, because they didn't really like Kobe. They loved Michael Jordan because he was always available to the media. But Kobe, they despised Kobe because Kobe had exposed certain things about the NBA and certain players in the NBA, and especially the media that covers the NBA. See, they don't like that. Like when you bite back against certain things and say, this is this way, this is this way, then they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to make sure that we paint you in a negative light in the tabloids. I'm going to make sure that the media personnel don't use you as any comparisons as being compared to the greatest. When it comes to all-time rankings, they overlook Kobe. But then it's inevitable. You'll always have past, present, or future players saying, you know what, I got Kobe ranked as number 1, 2, 1A, 1B, or whatever the case may be. They don't like that because you're always going to get real. Whenever there's something fake, you're always going to see something real come up out of that. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's something being exposed and you get the truth from that situation, or you see the irony in all of it and you be like, you know what? That is right. That's exactly what they're doing. See, y'all gotta pay attention to this shit, bro. Pay attention to this shit. This is just what it is. So I advise everybody to go watch that interview on the big podcast, on Shaquille O'Neal's podcast. See, everybody got a podcast, because guess what you're allowed to do when you got that podcast? It's your channel. Unless you have so many different sponsors and so many different people that's running your podcast, that's telling you, oh, you can't say this, oh, this company is paying for this, but this company is putting the money in our pocket to, you know what I'm saying, enhance our production and but all of that. It's certain things that you can't talk about. It's certain things that you can't talk about. But a lot of these players, past, future, and present, who have podcasts, they get real. Especially if there isn't no hidden agenda and there's no propaganda there. They get real and say some things that you'll be like, damn, they wasn't talking like that when they was playing in the league. Well, now it's freedom of speech. See, they had to protect their bag. They had to protect the money. Certain things they couldn't disclose. Certain things they couldn't talk about because they was locked up into a contract and the NBA owned them. So now you can expose anything you want. And that's the whole thing with social media. It's a gift and a curse. Because a lot of things that probably shouldn't have got out or been exposed is being exposed. And then you still have a lot of motherfuckers that's still fooling you by saying one thing and then really feeling another. So you're not even speaking what you're feeling, and you're not standing on what you truly believe. You're just coming up with these different talking points to boost your salary and your revenue and your channel and your likeness. See, a lot of people don't know this, but there's a lot of YouTubers out there that actually pay for subscribers. You can pay for likes and subscribers. You think 700 people? I got 752 subscribers, bro. That's not really a lot when you're looking at a pool of thousands and millions across this internet. You think 752 people right now is watching my damn channel, bro? On a daily? Because if they did, your watch hours would be higher. It's all controlled by the AI, the algorithms. People need to understand that. If you are saying things that's going to help continue to divide a people, you know what I'm saying? Where other people can take different talking points from your show and then create their own show and own content off of a certain talking point that's going to get the whole world talking about it, that really don't even mean nothing and it's no substance to it, then you're going to accumulate and get all of the likes. People don't even realize that. This is all control, bro. This is all control. So if you say something that they don't like, the people behind the scenes, there are key words and key phrases which the algorithms will catch on to. And it's certain stuff that they want that they be like, nope, 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 nope. You can't be real. Old Town, what's good with it? You can't be real. These dudes out here is breaking their motherfucking wallet out, paying for subscribers and likes. That's just the gist of it and the reality. When you real, bro, I get mine out the mud. I don't have to do that because I'm touching real individuals in different places who's impacted differently. You see what I'm saying? You'll be impacted differently as opposed to somebody just coming up on your screen just talking so you can like them in return and say, oh, he's saying some of the stuff that I like, I resonate with that. But then over here, he's saying some stuff that I don't like. And I'm not saying you have to agree with everything someone says, because I'm sure a lot of you disagree with a lot of the talking points and a lot of the things I say. And that's because we're human. It's okay. It's okay to agree to disagree. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't need to be rooted in disrespect. That just means that you're more emotionally attached to what you believe. You know what I'm saying? Based on whatever, than not. You feel me? I mean, I'm not going to get mad at nobody for having a difference of opinion. It's the disrespect that comes behind it and your reasoning on why you feel like that. Like, if your reason is you feel like that because of what somebody else said and not because of what you seen and did your own research, then I have an issue with that. Like, because then that'll make you a robot. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there are pretty little lies in the truth. Y'all know that, right? There are pretty little lies in the truth. So you can have something that's truthful, but then you can pull a lie from that very same truth and spit it to get people to believe that it's something else when it's really that. I'm just saying. So I just want everybody to pay attention to what they see versus what they hear and then the actions that's put behind that. Just because somebody says somebody is great, that doesn't mean that you need to be, oh yeah, he is great, or she is great, or he, she, they, him, her. I mean, however you want to spin that. I mean, you know. But pay attention to these athletes when they talk. That's why it's important, and the coaches, to watch the post-game pressers. Watch some of these post-game, pre-game pressers and see what they talk about. What's being said versus, you know what I'm saying, how they go out and approach their motherfucking craft and all of that. And then you'll be like, oh man, they on that bullshit. They on that bullshit. I'm just saying. So, tonight is game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between, Luka, Kyrie versus Cat and Ant-Man. We're going to see how that game plays out. It should be a good game. According to how the NBA know how to make games look good, it should be a good game. But if both teams play their hardest, I mean their absolute hardest, and don't try to give up anything, then we should get a real competitive, low-scoring game. Because it's easy to make shots when you're wide open. They practice those shots in their sleep. Do they practice shots being contested with a hand right directly in their face? I don't think a lot of players do. Only a couple of players. There's only a handful of players, maybe 2 handful of players, that actually practice taking and making tough shots. Who practice it. I'm talking about have a real defender, put a hand up on the shot, maybe hit your wrist, you learn how to play through contact and still be able to, keep your muscle memory and make the shot anyway. That's when you know somebody is really in their bag and their work ethic is insane for them to have that level of concentration to where they can still play and shoot with accuracy under duress. That's insane. You have to really take what you do really, really seriously. Like real talk. So, but anyway, with all that being said, I still like Boston to come up out of the East, even though I pick Indiana for my conspiracy theory reasons. You know what I'm saying? Just, on a long shot, just saying, oh, Indiana, Minnesota, Prince, Michael Jackson, yada, yada, yada. Like, you know what I'm saying? On that type of hype. But the best teams, in my opinion, are Minnesota and Boston, in my opinion. The best out of the final 4 teams that's playing right now, Minnesota and Boston are the best teams. And it's not close to me. Indiana has no defense. The Boston Celtics tried. Oh, he said that, and you can rewind it too, but he basically said Shaq had asked him a question about the Jamal Murray incident when he threw the little the pad or whatever on the floor and the towel. They threw the towel on the floor and he wasn't suspended at all. He might have been fined a little bit of money, if that. And then he asked Draymond, he said, what would happen if that was you, Draymond? And Draymond replied and said, I would have been suspended for the whole damn playoffs if that was me. So there's 3,000. Wow, what's good with my guy, man? Salute, bro. So yeah, Draymond basically said that. And then the conversation went on, and then they started talking about the 2016 finals and how he got suspended. And he said he intentionally tried to hit LeBron when LeBron James stepped over him. He said, I tried to hit LeBron. He said, nigga, you ain't about to just step over me. He said, all this court right here, and you gonna try to step over my shoulders and my head? He said that was disrespectful. So now he's really taking a shot at LeBron, and I'm pretty sure he probably didn't told this to LeBron as I earlier. He probably didn't told LeBron, like, yeah, nigga, I tried to hit your motherfucking ass, and they probably laughed and joked about it and was, you know what I'm saying, drinking or smoking or whatever they was doing when that conversation was had. But he basically reiterated whatever that conversation looked like and just said that, yeah. And he was basically saying that the NBA, come on, stop. He basically said that the NBA is fucking scripted. He basically was saying that you have to, the NBA always try to promote, let the players dictate and decide the games. But he said they would have won that series. He said that call deprived them from a championship. It shifted the whole momentum of the whole series. Even though you had 3 games to play outside of that game, but he was suspended. Who knows how that game might have ended if he didn't be suspended, how that game would have went the very next game, because the Warriors had all of the momentum. You know what I'm saying? And that was with Kyrie doing what he was doing at that time. But Kyrie didn't really start cooking. No Draymond Green. There was no Andrew Bogut. So the Warriors, that's basically how that conversation went. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. So that's all he was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? If kind of correlating two situations, if that was him doing suspended and that he tried to hit LeBron and that, you know what I'm saying, the NBA don't let the players decide the games. They pick and choose when they want to let the players decide the games. And then I mentioned the Dallas OKC series where they let the refs decided that series, a game 7. It was a real competitive game. It was a real intense game. You know what I'm saying? It was going back and forth. They were playing defense on both ends. Big shots, key shots were being made. And then all of a sudden you decide the game on what should have been the MVP of the NBA. You call a crucial foul on him when he was defending a role player. They would have never called that on Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and all Kyrie Irving, LeBron. They would never call a game and decide a game in that magnitude at the end of the game. Think about it. They would never do that. You thought that was LeBron James and he made that same play, that they would have called a foul on LeBron? If you thought that was Michael Jordan and he would have made that same play, they would have called a foul on Michael Jordan? No, it would have been a play on, no call. Let's go to OT in the battle, and you know what I'm saying, the best of the best, battle it out, and let's see who comes out on top. That's just the way that works. You let the players dictate and decide the game, not the referees. And it's too many times, past, future, and present, that we know that the referees interfere with the game because that's the call in the memo that they get from the league office. Make sure that, you know what I'm saying, make sure that we advance this team. Man, we got to get this team in. However you going to do it, get it done. That's the message that they send to these referees. Because there's no reason why the referees should mess up so many damn calls and favor one team when it comes to the calls. I'm just saying. And then we could take a look at the Boston game yesterday. Boston shot 20-some free throws. But guess what? Boston shot all those free throws, but they missed damn near half of the free throws. So there is no excuse why Indiana shouldn't have won that game. If Indiana had a motherfucking 4-point lead with under 12 seconds, with under 30 seconds left, under 22 seconds left, and you got a 4-point lead, how do you trick that lead? That's not the ref's fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just not. Boston tried to lose that game. They did everything in their power to lose that game yesterday. And Indiana did everything in their power not to win that game. It just didn't, like, what are we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? It just, that didn't make any sense. So that's just what it is. But tonight, Boston is minus 4.5. I mean, not Boston, excuse me. Minnesota is minus 4.5 on the spread tonight. Go ahead. You just get over without even fucking looking, Dolo Brain. So, Minnesota has been one of the best teams in this regular season, in this playoffs and throughout the regular season. And the best defensive team. So, there's a reason for their success. And we're going to find out later on, and they just cutting everybody off. What are you doing? Oh, come on, man. What the hell are you doing? They wonder why I saw these casualties on the freeway, man. Look at this. Everybody just jumping in front of everybody, man. These people dumb, man. If you one of them drivers, y'all, for anybody following me right now, if you don't know how to drive, take the back roads, man. Get the fuck away from a lot of different cars, bro. If you don't know how to drive in traffic, just stay away from them, bro. Like, that's dangerous. You're a fucking safety hazard on the road, man. Like, real talk. So I'd advise everybody, if you didn't pay for your motherfucking driver's license, take your ass back to the Department of Motor Vehicles and get your motherfucking license. 3,000. You already know, man. These niggas is crazy out here. Cause I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? God damn. It's all good, bro. But that's just what it is, man. I got Minnesota pulling it out tonight. I think they can win by like 10 tonight. You know, they lost their last 2 out of 3 home games in the playoffs. So we'll see how Dallas get down. And Dallas been pretty consistent. They've been pretty good on the road. You know what I'm saying? They beat the Clippers a couple times on the road. You know, they beat OKC a couple times on the road. So Dallas has fared pretty well on the road. But I just think that they're dealing with a different monster. And I believe that Ant-Man and all those guys over there, they're motivated. I think they believe that they might be able to get a chip. Mike Conley, Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert, I think they believe that they might be able to get a chip out of this season. And this might be the best chance in an Indiana team who's not still missing some pieces, or a Boston Celtic. Okay. Salute to you, bro. Hey, thanks for your service, 3,000. Salute, bro. I appreciate you. Thanks for your service, homie. You know it's it's all love, Get y'all popcorn ready. You feel me? And I'm gonna get at y'all later on, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. If you didn't watch the video in its entirety, I know. Going through these motherfucking little dead spots like these little mountains and shit. Get your popcorn ready, man. Enjoy the game, y'all. And you know, it's the real E-Leezy, bro. Rewind the video if you haven't seen it in its entirety. And salute to you, bro. You already know what it is. It's the real E-Mother effing Leezy. Love, live life, smile, cry, and laugh, man. Salute to my peoples. Appreciate y'all, bro. I'll tap in with y'all later, man.